Good morning, students. Today I am going to start the third chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth, written by Trishani Doshi, from your book Vistas, the supplementary reader in English for class 12. Journey to the End of the Earth. Now, before I start the chapter, children, let me tell you one thing, that if we want to know about the planet's present, planet's past and planet's future, according to the author Trishani Doshi, Antarctica is the place to go to. Now, to find out this planet's past, present and future, the author Trishani Doshi is boarding on a Russian research vessel, and the name of the vessel is Academic Sokolsky, and she has shared her experience through this chapter. Now we are going to read this chapter. This chapter, it is divided into 4 parts. The first part, it gives the introduction. The second part of history. The third part, human impact. And the fourth part, walk on the ocean. Children, you will find small headings, subheadings like this. Now we will start with the introduction part. Now we all are in this lockdown condition. And throughout the day we are sitting with our laptop, mobile, TV and all. But we have to understand that what is the grassroots level cause for this. So you can see in the picture, I have collected this picture for you, that is pollution, the human impact upon the nature. In your class 11, you have read another science-based chapter in English, where you have learned that you have to feel that you have, borrowed this land from the generation, and you have to give them back. And you have read another very important word, sustainable development. So this chapter, it gives us the light upon the fact that what our earth was millions and millions years ago and what our earth is right now, and what or where we are, where we could possibly be heading. So let's start this chapter. So in Academic Sokolsky, the author started heading towards the coldest, driest, windiest continent in the world. Yes, children, that is Antarctica. Her journey began 13.09 degrees north of the equator in Madras, and involved crossing 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, and at last as many ecospheres. By the time she actually set foot on Antarctica continent, she had been traveling over 100 hours in combination of a car, an aeroplane and a ship. So her first emotion on facing the Antarctica's expansive white landscape and uninterrupted blue horizon was relief, followed up with an immediate and profound wonder. Wonder at its immensity, its isolation, but mainly at how there could ever have been a time when India and Antarctica were part of the same landmass. The entire landmasses were single landmass. Now, and it was 650 million years ago. So, the second part, that is part of history, it tells us that 650 million years ago, a giant amalgamated southern supercontinent was there, and that was called Gondwana. So this term Gondwana is very important for this chapter because this was a name given when India and Antarctica were part of the same landmass. Things were quite different at that time. At that time, humans had not arrived on the globe scene, and the climate was much warmer and hosting a huge variety of flora and fauna. Flora means plant life and fauna means animal life. And for 500 million years ago, children, this Gondwana, it existed. We have heard about dinosaurs. Now the dinosaurs, they have wiped out from the face of the earth. And it was with them that gradually when their wiping was going on, and when they were all wiped out, gradually the earth cooled and the land masses were forced to separate into countries, shaping the globe much as we know it today. Now the question arises, children, that why we will visit Antarctica. So the chapter also tells us the name, that is Journey to the End of the Earth, and this end of the earth implies Antarctica. So this is the question, that why we will go to Antarctica, why we will visit Antarctica. And this is to get a grasp of where we have come from and where we could possibly be heading. So art students, now I think from geography you may have learned that it's the understanding or significance of Cordilleran folds and Precambrian granite shield, ozone and carbon, evolution and extinction. So these are the various terms involved behind these geographical changes. And when we think about all that can happen in a million years, it can get pretty mind-blogging, isn't it, children? Because how do geographical phenomena help us to know about the history of humankind that we all know? Because it is geography and biology that help us to understand. And to understand this geography and biology, we need to visit to Antarctica. Now, next the author explains that 90% of the Earth's total ice volume are stored here. And it seems to be just like walking upon a giant ping pong ball. You can see in the picture, devoid of any human marks. And so no trees, no billboards, no buildings. And then what is present there if there are no human marks, no trees, no billboard, no buildings? So the visual scale ranges from the microscopic to the mighty. So what are these that are present here? Mids and mites, blue whales, icebergs as big as the countries. So throughout 24 hours autumn summer light, the author has seen the uninterrupted and occasional the white sheets, the ice sheet. And for humans, the author is also giving the last line from the first part, this part of history. And for humans, the prognosis isn't good. So what does it mean? It means that the prognosis means the opinion based on medical experience. So the author here means that the predicted outcome of a disease or the predicted outcome of a result and the changes of recovery, that is not good. So the author is trying to tell that when she visited, she found that from the part of history, it has changed a lot. And the changes that are occurring, they are quite prognosis in nature.